Howdy, 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 my beautiful Cancer. How are you doing today, darling? My name is SimplyVelca, and today we're going to be getting into your weekly tarot reading, Cancer, for November 2022. So if you enjoy this tarot reading today, let me know in the comments below how my tarot reading helps you out, darling. Even my quiet ones, I'd like to know how y'all are doing. That's how I keep up with you guys, is through the comments, of course. And then Cancer as well, if you do enjoy this tarot reading, be sure to check out your sun, moon, and your rising. You want to base your entire life off of your one zodiac sign. Your tarot reading should be no different, Cancer. All right. So if you do enjoy this tarot reading and you want to support me, the best way to do that is just by giving this video a like and subscribe, Cancer. It's completely free to do and it helps me out quite a bit. So I appreciate those who take the extra step to do that for me. So all that being said, Cancer, let's just jump right into your tarot reading here. You have a lot of impactful cards here, walking away from a lot, but what it is that you're going towards, even though you don't currently see it right now, Cancer, it's just some pretty fabulous stuff here. All right. Even though right now I can admit to you, Cancer, you might feel like you're needing to take a risk here. Even though we're not being shown the Fool card, I feel like you're really feeling like you need to take a leap of faith, taking a leap of faith in regards to your life in some way. I feel like you're really craving to tear down some type of structure that you created that has been created in your life that you realize isn't serving you anymore. I feel like you want to feel more alive again. Your first row here is the Queen of Pentacles, the Tower, and the Ace of Wands here, Cancer. You know what this is, Cancer? This makes me think of where it's just like you have been for a long time now just handling your to-do list. Each day you just constantly do this giant to-do list and it's really draining to you. And it's like one day you wake up and you're just like, you know what am I gaining from doing this to-do list every day? And you're going down the list and you're just like, actually, this entire to-do list isn't for me. You know, I'm doing all this stuff for all these other people and they're not paying me. They're not, it's whatever, what about me? That's what I get with that first row, Cancer. It's just like you're questioning things, just like, well, we need to have a change going on here in my life here because I'm not happy with how much I'm putting out and how little I'm receiving. In your second row, Cancer, you have the Sun, the Eight of Cups, and the Page of Pentacles. So this leads me to believe, Cancer, you are having to make the choice and walking away from something, right? Because you're just like, no, I'm no longer interested in settling anymore. I gotta explore things. I gotta go out into the unknown, take a risk in some way, Page of Pentacles, and hope that it pays off here. I gotta explore this idea that I have going on. I gotta explore this adventure that is popping up for me, right? I do feel like in your second row here, this is like a sense of it's a sense of risk taking, but it's not even, I wouldn't even see this as necessarily risk taking, Cancer. I would see this more so as where it's just like not being afraid of getting uncomfortable. That's what I see with this. And by you choosing to not being afraid of being uncomfortable, it pays off big time. We'll explore that more. In your third row, Cancer, we have the Ace of Swords, the Four of Pentacles, and Nine of Wands. Now, we'll get into this message much deeper later on in this reading because this, I feel like, is so important. But right now, it's not going to make too much sense to you until we really unpack these first two rows, Cancer. But in this message here, if you were to listen closely to the advice that these cards are giving to you, Cancer, you will have an insane payout. This is like in a way where it's just like intuitively getting told like the lottery numbers and winning the lottery in a sense. Now, I'm not saying you're going to win the lottery, Cancer. Let's be very clear on that. But it's the sense where it's like you can take a calculated risk. Since I've been saying that, you can take a calculated risk, or what would be seen as a great risk. But if you listen to the blueprints that Spirit is trying to lay out for you, Cancer, that risk will pay off in tenfold. So it's like that, having like the inspiration for that business idea and taking a risk on that and so on and so forth. So let's get into these rows more specific now, Cancer, because as I said, we have a lot to really be unpacking here. In this first row, Cancer, I feel like you are starting to see what is no longer serving you, but it's still there's certain things I feel like it's not serving you anymore, but it's still draining you, right? It's still like taking away from you. And I feel like you're starting to wake up, Cancer, into the sense of being like, no, I gotta go with what is driving me. I gotta go with what is serving me now, Cancer. All right. And I feel like that's the first step towards something much greater. It starts out as where you're just like, no, I gotta make more of this time that I'm using for me rather than for everybody else. That's the first step towards then going into having something be major. All right. So clarifying this, we have the Ace of Wands, Nine of Swords in the reverse with the Two of Wands coming in here. High Priestess in the back of the deck for this here as well, Cancer. Yeah, I feel like this is time for you to be taking a risk. I know I keep on saying this here, Cancer, and this goes right into your second row beautifully here, but I feel like it's time for you to take a risk. I feel like it's time for you to claim back your energy. Maybe some of you need to do like a cord cutting, make it more energetically. Maybe someone's, I do get like this impression here where it's just like, if there's been someone that has constantly been popping up in your head, it might be the reason behind that is that you are constantly in their head. So you need to do like a cord cutting ritual or what have you, a cleansing, so you can just make more of your energy, more of your time yours. And by following with that passion there, that leads to something much major by listening to your intuition. Two of Wands with that High Priestess there. So it's like something really major, and some major intel coming in for you, Cancer. All right. Now getting into your second row, we have the Sun, the Page of Pentacles, the Eight of Cups, all coming in here. And so it's just like, it's through this inspiration, you're no longer interested in settling anymore. You're hoping for a happily ever after, essentially here, Cancer. All right. So I see in this sense, you know, the Eight of Cups, this is someone who walks away from their current situation to go out into the unknown, to climb that mountain, as you see with this person here, Cancer, right? This person's gonna climb that mountain. They don't know what's on the other side, right? It's under this moon, so it's all under a guise. But you have these other cards here, the cheat sheet essentially here, where it's the Sun, the Page of Pentacles. On the other side of that darkness, you see the Sun. And the Sun is the best card in the tarot deck. It represents abundance, clarity, being able to finally breathe is how I like to say that. Use that as an example as Cancer, right? And it's through the sense of the Page of Pentacles. Now, the Page of Pentacles is like the starting of like a new financial endeavor in some ways. But let's just start exploring this a little bit deeper with some clarifying cards here, Cancer. All right. Well, there's that Fool card. I think I mentioned it at the beginning of this reading, where it's just like the leap of faith, that Fool, that Hierophant making its appearance again. And then there's that Tower card, right? This is one of those times where you actually want to see the Tower card, because it really does represent, at least to me, Cancer, just this sense of major transformations happening in your life. All right. Major changes, just like you're doing away with everything that no longer was serving you anymore. And so I really feel like this time next year, Cancer, you're either not going to be living in the same house, working the same job, going to school for the same career. There's something that's going to be vastly different about you, Cancer. It's not to say that everything that you did up until this point has been a waste of time, but I feel like you guys are about to be stepping into something that's a lot more elevated, a lot more energetically matched for you. I even also get with this intuitively, Cancer. King of Wands being the back of the deck here. For this here, I get intuitively for you, especially if you are in a relationship that you would obviously know this, because you would already be having those feelings right now, Cancer, because right now you would see this as settling. You're currently settling for this person that's not very fulfilling for you. I see you moving out of that type of environment and being around people who really connect to you on a much deeper level, just as a side note, Cancer. Now getting into your third row before we get into your oracle reading, Cancer, we have the Ace of Swords, Nine of Wands, and Four of Pentacles here. All right. This is this message here, Cancer, of where it's like, while you go out onto this journey of the Eight of Cups and you're just like, no, I know I'm no longer interested in settling anymore. I want to take a risk, because I have to hope at some point in time that there's something with greater cups than 8, hoping for a 9, hoping for 10, right? And so in this message here, the Four of Pentacles, what it is that you invest into by you finally choosing to take action, right? Because you don't want to become who this person is, where it's just like the cobwebs are building up because you got to a place where you are, I don't want to say content, but at least the boat is no longer rocking as much, right? Ace of Swords, creative new ideas. Nine of Wands for you, Cancer. This is a direct message where it's just like, it's time for you to be taking action, investing into these new creative ideas. Sure, the journey may not be all rainbows and sunshine, right? But I can promise you the sun will come up eventually. I can promise you that there will be sunshine. You know, you might have to fight through some rain. You might have to go through some mud, but you will get to that sunshine. You have to, so that's what I see here for you, Cancer. I see you about to be really taking steps towards a really big journey in your life. Really not much to it. And it's time for you to take action. That's all I keep on seeing this here, Cancer. It's just like, don't be afraid of taking action. Don't be afraid of taking that leap of faith, right? Back of the deck, or rather, I guess we'll say back of the deck. Well, yeah, back of the deck is the Ace of Pentacles, by the way. Again, financially really confirming. You'll see all this sun symbology with the Ace of Pentacles, the Page of Pentacles, the Sun card. It's all the same symbology. Let me just show it so you see it. And then we'll get into your Oracle card, Cancer, right? You'll see the symbology with all of it. It's just like, it's just a big yellow circle essentially, but you get the point, Cancer. All right. So your Oracle card here is the Cat Spirit. Number 4 in numerology, Cancer. So write that down to see what messages that has for you. And then this card says claiming your independence, which has essentially been this entire storyline here, Cancer, right? Is you claiming your independence, you finding your own potential, finding your power, because that's how you are able to claim your independence, is by acknowledging where your capabilities are, acknowledging what your potential is, Cancer. So that's what I see happening for you, darling. Thank you so much for allowing me the opportunity to give you this tarot reading today, Cancer. I hope something in here resonated, and I'll connect to you sometime in the near future. Bye, darling.